I'm Pauline Maas. Good morning. I'm living in the Netherlands and I am a teacher of ICT, of computers. So I do teach a lot of coding to my students. Oh, my bell is ringing. That's not a good idea. So I'm teaching coding to the students with the microbit and with JavaScript, and I write websites with my students, and my students are visual impaired. So that's for them much more difficult to learn coding than other students. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you. So coding or robotics are the two important subjects these days, irrespective of the countries, irrespective of the schools, everywhere. The academicians and the government, regional government, and even the central governments are trying to implement these two subjects in their curriculum, and they want to inculcate or they want to include these two subjects in their curriculum. Fortunately, you are the teacher of the coding, and we are so lucky to pose some questions related to coding little later. So one of my students is going to ask her first question. Farina, it's your turn now.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Very good. How are you, Farina?
Hi, ma'am. My name is Farina. I'm a student. I am from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. Here, my question is: Dutch government plans to ban new gas and diesel cars by 2030. Could you please tell us something about it?
Yeah. It's more and more important that we don't use like normal gasoline, and so there is so the government really persuade people to buy new cars which are electric or part of electric. So our car is now, since 2 years, it's partly running on gasoline and partly on electric. So I can travel 60 kilometers with electric. So it's very good in the city. And then when I go farther, then I use some normal gasoline. And then when I stop somewhere, if I arrived at my school, I can charge my car again with the electricity. So the cars are very, you don't hear them. Yeah, so they are very quiet, and it's very easy traveling. So I'm really happy with it. But they're still quite expensive. So, but you get like an extra money from the government to buy them. But still, it is expensive because many people want to buy a second or a third-hand car, and they are not available yet.
Oh.
So.
Hello, ma'am. This is Namata. I'm a sixth grader. I'm from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. My question is: Dutch are the healthiest in the world. When it becomes too tight, please explain about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we are the healthiest of the world, but we are the longest of the world, because my size is 180. I'm 180 tall. So that's really tall. Even for women here. When I was young, I was always the longest in the classroom, but now not anymore. So we are really growing, and I made a small presentation. I can share that with you later with some pictures on it. How that the Dutch are really the longest in the world.
Yes.
And I think we drink a lot of milk, and eat a lot of things, and that makes that we are.
Yes, her question is that Dutch is the healthiest country in the world, and so what should be the reason to be featured among the healthiest countries in the world? Is it because of the healthiest diet you take, or because of that means you hit the gym every day and to keep your body fit? And are there any other reasons?
Well, people tease us now and then that we are also the happiest. We have the happiest children in the world because our favorite food in the morning of the children is chocolate. We have sprinkled chocolates on bread. So that's what the children get for breakfast. So they say that is because of that. I think it's a combination of maybe the weather and the food and everything, being outside on the bikes a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
But so
Thank you.
but I think other people get longer and more healthier also. Yeah, but it takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Yes. So what should be the average lifespan in Netherlands? So should it be 80 or 90?
It is 90. Yeah, it is 90. But I think is Japan, they become the oldest people in the world. Yeah,
Yes.
that's more
Yes.
than 100. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to ask a question. Dutch
Yeah.
primary school are 1 kilometer from their home.
Yeah. We have a lot of very small schools, and they try to build in every area where are the houses, and also new houses. They build a school over there, so then usually people can walk to school very close by or go on their bikes to school. That's what they really want. So that's we are really happy with that, because I have like a school, I live on the park, and we have a school over there, primary school. And also the secondary school are here 3 in walking distance. So, but I live in the city. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
not very, yeah.
This is Meghana. I'm an educator. Here
Hello.
my question is, orange is the national color of Netherlands. Do people like to wear orange?
Yes. Yes, we love to wear orange, because our king and our kings and queens, the last name is Orange. So if there is some activities with people or sports activities or anything else, every people have like orange clothes in the closet, or have that somewhere, or orange hat or orange things. And then always when there is some sport activities, everybody is going outside and wearing orange. And also on the King's Day and Queen's Day is a lot of orange everywhere. We are really very proud of that color, because it's very bright and we love that.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
So
Hello, ma'am.
hello.
This is Subramanian Srinivas, a 7th grade student. Now, I would like to ask a question. Can I ask, ma'am?
Yes.
What is the age of retirement for teachers in Netherlands?
For teachers in the Netherlands, it is 68. So when I started working, it was only 65, but now because of their we are healthier and we stay much healthier when we are older, so now it is 68. So that's quite I'm 63 years old, so I still have a few years to go, but I love my work, so I don't mind so much. But there are people who are really working in hard labor. It's also 68, and they think it's very hard. That's getting older and older, because you don't have so much time to spend, because many people say, I want to do that when I retire, and then maybe there's not enough time to do that all. Also, I want to travel the world when I retire, so I just do so now and then. No.
Yes.
Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Are flowers prices in Netherlands bit cheaper? Yeah, as it's the biggest explorer.
I think the flowers are in the Netherlands cheaper than when I'm abroad and I see the price of flowers, but still it is in the Netherlands too a kind of a luxury project, not something you buy every week. But we also have a lot of flowers in the garden. So if you have a garden, you plant also flowers to put in your house. That's what people do a lot.
Okay.
But we have beautiful flower shops. The flowers are really, and being exported always. We are very proud of that. And then you can see that there's a high demand from abroad for flowers. But it's beautiful to walk in a flower shop here, or walk on the market, or see the tulips when they are blooming. That's just only 1 month in the Netherlands. Yeah, but it is
Yes.
really beautiful.
So when I was a child, I think I watched a few movies of my regional language where the shooting shot exclusively in Amsterdam, the capital of Netherlands, especially the Tulip Gardens. They picturized the song in one song sequence in the Tulip Garden, and I was really passionate about that particular beauty of the garden. And so you are really lucky enough to have such a beautiful garden and that to tulips.
And because it rains a lot, we have a lot of greenery too. It's very green in the Netherlands too. So yeah, and I live in the east of the Netherlands, and there's we have, like, in the autumn we have the hay, and that's pure beautiful purple. Yeah, but it's only 2 weeks, but then many people come watch the hay.
Yes.
So there's a lot of flowers also just normal outside.
How good are public schools in the Netherlands?
Okay, we have here in the Netherlands, we have no difference between private and public schools. All the schools are public. So there is no difference in, only you can see some of the schools have more money, but it's in basic, all the schools are all the same. So we don't, there's always money for books and computers and other things. So we're really fortunate that we have that. You have no poor schools in the Netherlands, no, and no difference between public and public and government schools. They're all the same.
Okay, that's very interesting, because in India we have the private and system, and as well as the public system. The majority of the students are actually sent to the private schools rather than the public schools. So it's a different scenario here.
Hello.
My name is Swati. I am an 8th grader. Here my question is, how is life in Netherlands?
How is life in the Netherlands? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Yeah. It's really nice. Everybody has to work really hard because lots of things are very expensive too. I think in all the countries, because of the war, there's more expensive. But the only thing I don't like so much in the Netherlands that it rains a lot. I prefer the sun, and but on the other hand, we have a good public transportation. You can always take a bus or a train or a tram to get somewhere, so you don't really need a car to go somewhere. So that's really, I'm happy with that. Yeah, we have a good life here.
Okay, thank you. Husniya? Yes, Husniya?
What is Netherlands proud of?
I think we are proud that we do a lot of export to other countries about our food and flowers, but also we do a lot of export helping other countries to build bridges and to make land. So I think we are, and then we are really proud of doing that, and also because of the sports. We have like Max Verstappen, he is very good in the Formula 1 racing sport, so we're really proud of him, but he is born in Belgium, but he is Dutch, so still. So I think that is part of it. Yeah. So
yes, thank you. Students, do you still have any more questions to be asked? And some of the students are unable to ask the questions due to their poor network connectivity. So on behalf of one of my students, I would like to ask Palavani. Here, my question is, people in Netherlands are bike friendly. Do people use bikes due to the government rules or their own interest? Because in India, if you take, it's a completely different scenario. Most of the young generation and even older people, they prefer the motorbikes rather than the bicycles or the bikes. But in your country, and you all prefer the bikes, maybe because of the health consciousness. So could you please tell us something about that?
Yes, because it is expensive. Oh no, it is very cheap to have a bike, and it's very close. So people love to ride a bike, even to school. When you bring your children to school, the schools prefer that you do that by bike and not by car, because by bike it is less accidents. So we're happy with that. And then when you get a little bit older, now you have electric bikes. They go a little faster. So people even go for an hour on their bike to work, because it is cheaper. And also for the school I work for, every year I can pick a few healthy things, and the school accompanied, so I can buy an electric bike. So you can travel also. The travel I do now with my car is half an hour, but I can do that by bike too with 1 hour, but I won't do, I'm not doing that. But the people love to ride on their bikes. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's just part of the culture, I guess. But we don't wear helmets. So
Oh.
when you see bikes in other countries, people always wear helmets, but we never wear helmets because we think that's stupid. Yeah. But a lot of accidents happen too, because older people, 70 plus, they ride their bikes, and then they have small accidents, and then it's very often on their heads, and that's not very good. But yeah, we love to use our bike. Yeah.
And here is a one. I heard that 1 in 8 babies that are born in your country are born at home rather than in a hospital.
Yeah.
So that is something is a bit strange for me, because in India most of the babies are delivered at a hospital rather than at their homes. So is there any specific reason for that home deliveries?
Well, we think that giving birth and being pregnant is just normal. So like a flu or something, you can do at home. My daughter, she is a midwife, and the education to become a midwife is very like a doctor. But we have 4 babies. We have 4 children, and 3 are born outside the country, and they're all born in hospital. But the youngest one is born in the Netherlands, and she's born at home. And it was a very quick delivery, because it's not an illness. You just can, as a woman, you can do it. So yeah, we prefer giving birth at home. Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing is that the Netherlands has the highest English proficiency in the world. And most of the people in Netherlands, their English levels are so high compared to the UK. So
Yeah.
could you please tell us something about it?
We don't, lots of television and music is all in English in the Netherlands. So at a very young age, they hear English everywhere. And I think starting from 7 or 8 years old, we start teaching our children English in schools too. Because you hear a lot of English, they use it. And because we are such a small country, we have to speak English and other language to communicate. And because the Dutch, they really are an export country. So they're really proud that they can speak Dutch. They speak English a lot. Yeah.
So I heard that
Yes.
many engineers working in different countries, and most of the chief architects of the buildings and the mega projects are the people or engineers exclusively bought from the Netherlands. So what should be the reason for the intellectual ability or the engineering skills of the Netherlands people? Is there any specific reason for the uh, for Netherlands producing a largest number of great architectures and as well as the engineers that can build the world uh, important monuments, maybe a marvelous structures?
Well, I think we have a few very big companies who has experience with that. And also a lot of foreigners work in the Netherlands for those companies. So it's not only Dutch people who do that, but maybe Dutch people who are there to pick up the projects and have the money and do the investment to do it. So And also even if you go become an engineer here, the engineers are very important. And every student in the Netherlands, you get the government gives you money to become a student. So it's not only that the parents have to pay it, but you get like a basic allowance from the government to become a student. And if you finish your education, it is a gift. But if you don't finish your education, you have to pay it back. So it's like a loan.
Okay.
But if you finish get your paper, then it is a gift. Yeah.
Okay. Here is my last question. What are the typical subjects? What are the typical subjects taught in the primary as well as the secondary schools in Netherlands?
Yeah. Well, the primary subjects are, of course, math and Dutch, the language Dutch. And we have also digital literacy is now one of the main important thing. It is about also coding, and of course English, but a lot of math and Dutch, because that is really the main subject. So a lot of time has to be spent on those two subjects in the schools. And all the other things is also part of it, but it's not the most important thing.
So is coding is part of the primary school curriculum or the secondary school curriculum? And at what age, at what stage the coding is being taught to the students in your country?
Well, in the Netherlands, it is we have a curriculum, but it's not mandatory. It's a suggestion what you can do.
Okay.
But when something is mandatory in the Netherlands, people are objective to it, you know?
Yeah.
They say, okay, it's a suggestion, you can do it, this is the good way. But still, as a teacher of a school, you're free to fill it in how you want it.
Okay.
So, and then like coding is more and more important. So I think it starts around 8 years old that they do that. And in secondary school, you have like really coding schools. So they do like 3 hours extra coding in every week. So we have like a few schools there, and those schools are really very good in coding, and they win lots of prizes too with coding, worldwide coding activities and worldwide coding things. So, and people sometimes, parents sometimes move to the city where such a coding school is, because kids want to be in those schools.
Yes, absolutely. So now I request you to share a few slides for my students, and you can do it now. Yeah, please.
Yeah, okay. Here, the Netherlands. We have 70 million people, and we only live in 416 kilometers. So that's not a lot. And 80% of us is water. So I live here in Gelderland, here, close, this is Germany, and this is the sea, but this is only 1 hour traveling. So in 1 hour travel with the car, 100 kilometers, I'm everywhere in the Netherlands. So we're very small. The Netherlands is here, and we are part of the European community. So this is Europe, part of Europe, and here is only the Netherlands. So we are really small in this big Europe. So we are very proud of bridge water things we do. We use a very modern technology in agriculture and farming. And here are the flowers, and this is Max Verstappen. Life, many people in the Netherlands have their own house. So the houses are they all kind of the same houses. You can change the front door or other things, but they're built in big parts of it. So then you can rent or buy such a house. Here you can see a normal city in Amsterdam. People are on their bike to work, to school, or to anywhere, or just when it is nice weather, just be on the bikes, what they really like. In more and more cities, like the city I live in Arnhem, There's hardly any cars in the central city. Is not allowed to drive a car. Everybody is on their bike or walking. Well, here are all the flowers, of course. This only in the spring, but it is really magnificent to see. Beautiful. In primary school here, you see a mother is bringing the child to school. You have this special bakfietsen, it's called. That you can put in children and then they bike to school. And as I told you, the primary schools, we have no private school. It's all government schools, and there's not really a very big difference. This is a good school. It's only that some of the schools are a Christian or not Christian. That is the main difference what there is. Yeah. So here is the public school. This is how a primary school looks like. The secondary school is kind of the same. Everybody is having a table to sit on and a digiboard and a teacher in front of the classroom and lots of windows and open. Yeah. When there is an activity or a King's Day or something else, people wear orange and they go out of the street and celebrate things. This is in Amsterdam, so they go on their boats and their bikes and be outside. This is this is our car. We have such a car like this, and it's part-time on electricity and part-time on gasoline. So that is and that's what a lot of cars now look like in the Netherlands. Retirement is 68. And here you can see the Dutch guys. The man is almost 1.85 meters. And then the USA, Canada, England, India, and the Philippines. So we see that we are really very tall people if you compare it to this. And I don't think it's really healthy. I think it's just like, I think we drink a lot of milk and eat a lot of cheese and those kind of things. So that's not really healthy, but it's making us taller for a long time already. Yeah.
Absolutely.